Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Yes, the online students, you are able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll suggest you please use the chat box and keep your mics in good position. It will be good for everyone. Okay. So what was the topic we discussed yesterday? So I'll just briefly revise what we discussed yesterday. After that, I'll start today's session. Okay. So yesterday it was our first day. So we first discuss why this course is important or why you should do this course. So once the course name is what? MCSE. MCSE stands for Microsoft Certified Solution Expert. Expert. So once you are done with this course, you will be eligible to work like a system administrator. So this is a foundation and fundamental course for your all higher courses because this course is designed or based on the domain model. Yes, yesterday we discussed that MCSE course is designed and based on the domain model. So domain model means what? In simple word, we can say what? Centralized network. So to make this network centralized, the most important service, what we have to install? What is the service we have to install to make our network centralized? Which service we have to install? Yes, ADDS. So we have to install the Active Directory service. Yes, our machine first of all should be with server OS. Then on that we have to install the service called ADDS, Active Directory Domain Service. So this course is based on domain model which we can create by using this service ADDS. So for that purpose, how many sessions we have for this session? I told you day-wise schedule also I've shown you yesterday. So we have about how many topics or how many sessions for Active Directory? 5 sessions for Active Directory. Yes. So I told you what are the topics which we are going to cover yesterday. So I started with the first class. So I started with fundamental things like what is network. So network means what? Interconnection of devices. Then we discuss networking. Networking means what? Enabling the communication between the connected devices. So for that, you have to provide how many types of connectivity? 2 types of connectivity. What are they? Physical connectivity and logical connectivity. Physical connectivity is provided by using what? Cable or Wi-Fi. Not both, anyone. And logical connectivity is provided by using what? IP address. Logical connectivity is provided by using what? IP address. So, to provide the physical connectivity, we need to connect the system. So if you have 2 systems, you can take one cable and connect it. But in the organization, you will have multiple systems. So how do you connect a multiple system? Through the network connecting device. So what is the network connecting device we use to connect the system? Switch. So earlier we were using what? Hub. But now we don't use the hub. Why? We discussed yesterday. So when you connect the system through the hub, what happens? Hub always does broadcasting. Broadcasting means one to all. So which causes the network trafficking. Due to that, network get slow. So same systems, if are connected with the switch, what the switch will do? It will do the unicast, 1 to 1. So due to that, the network will not get slow. So that's why nowadays everywhere we connect the system using what? Switch. But if your devices are in different network and different place, to the switch you have to connect one more device that is called router. Yes, router we have to use it. So this is what we have discussed in yesterday's session. So to provide the physical connectivity, we need to use the switch and connect the devices through Wi-Fi or cable. Logical connectivity is provided by IP. But to assign the IP, we need on every machine one device, what you will call that? NIC card. What you will call that? NIC card. Full form of NIC is? Yes, NIC stands for Network Interface Card. It is also called as LAN card. NIC card is also called as Ethernet card or LAN card, local area network card. So on the LAN card or Ethernet card or NIC card, one address is provided by the vendor. What will call that address? MAC address, which is used for identifying the system. So yes, so MAC address can be changed? No, that's why it is called permanent address or physical address, which is given by the vendor. Vendor means manufacturer. So that is used to identify the system. But communication takes place through IP address, which can be changed. That's why it is called logical address. So who can assign the IP address? Administrator. So this is what we have discussed. Okay. So yesterday we discussed that. So devices can be connected to the switch. So while connecting the devices, based on connected devices are present where the network is being categorized into different types. So according to our syllabus, we are going to discuss how many types of network now? 3 types of network. So how many types of network we are going to discuss now? 3 types. What are they? Local area network. Yes. So we are going to discuss now how many types of network? 3 types of network. What are they? Yes. So we are going to discuss 3 types. What are they? LAN, WAN, and MAN. So now we will see the difference. So these networks are categorized based on where the connected devices are present. If the connected devices are present at same location, it is called, that network comes under which network? LAN. If the connected devices are different place but same network, that comes under MAN. But when they are in different places, different network, that comes under WAN. So these are the 3 types of networks we can categorize based on the connected devices are present where. So we'll discuss one by one. So first, LAN. LAN full form? Okay, so in the LAN, the connected device, how do you define the LAN, local area network? Here, all the connected devices, all the connected devices are present at same location or same place. So when the connected devices are present at the same location at same place, then what you'll call that? That network comes under which category? LAN. Then that network comes under LAN. Are you understanding, everyone? So when our connected devices are present at the same place and they are in same network, then that network is called as same place, same network. All the devices will be at same place and at same network. So that is called as LAN. Now coming to the MAN. MAN full form? Metropolitan Area Network. So when we will say this as a MAN, when all your connected devices, are present, when the connected devices are present at different location. Yes, very nice. So when they are present at different location, but different location, but in same city or within the radius of, you can say, 30 kilometer and in same network, then that network comes under WAN. So now the last one according to our syllabus is WAN. WAN full form? WAN full form, wide area network. So here all your connected devices will be, the connected devices are present in different places, different cities. Yes, they are present in different location and in different different network. So that network comes under, wide area network. When the distance is in large. See, somebody mic is unmuted. Please keep your mics in mute position, no? Okay, thank you. So did you understood this? So what is the difference between this? So when all your connected devices are at same place and in same network, then it is called as when the connected devices are present at the same location and in same network, then it is called as, then the devices comes under which network? LAN. When the devices are at different places, but in same network, within the same city or within the radius of 30 kilometer, then those devices comes under WAN. When the devices are in different places, in different cities, more than 30 kilometer, and they are in different network, then that network comes under WAN, wide area network. Now, our course MCSE is based on which network now? Yes, our course MCSE is designed on not WAN. Our MCSE course is designed on LAN. So as a system administrator, what you have to do? You have to manage all the systems which are at same place where you are present. There only all your system will be present. It might be different floor, but same building. So when the devices are present at same place within the vicinity of the same building, then that network calls LAN. So our MCSE course, which we are discussing, we are going to discuss our course MCSE under our course. MCSE is based on which network? LAN. So the MCSE course, which we are discussing, it is based on the LAN. So our focus will be on LAN. So now the course MCSE, which we are discussing, it is based on LAN. So all our devices will be at the same place. So as the administrator in MCSE course, you have to control. So as the administrator, as a person, you have to control. What the administrator will do? Control and manage all the users and computer which are at same place. So you will control and manage all these users and computer by using what? By using what? So in the LAN, all the systems will be controlled and managed by administrator, but by using what? So as an administrator, you have to control and manage all users and computer by using operating system. By using what? In the LAN, all the systems are controlled and managed by using what? By using operating system. So a person who uses the operating system to control and manage all the devices is called as system administrator. Are you following why the designation of a person who is controlling and managing the devices which are at same place by using the operating system? That person is called as what? That person is called as what? System administrator. What it is called? System administrator. Okay. So nowadays, are you working on MAN? Are you using that MAN? Nobody is using now. The companies are working either on LAN or earlier they used to work on MAN, but now not used. Why? I'll tell you. Then coming to the WAN. So here, when you are working on different location and different network, so compulsory you have to use one device that is called router. So a person who works on the router. So on the router, you will be discussing under which course? CCNA. So a person who works on the router to manage different networks, then that person designation will be network administrator. So about the WAN, you will be discussing in CCNA course. So what is the difference between system admin and network admin? Network administrator will be managing what? Different network by using router. So a person who uses the router to enable the communication between the devices which are at different places and different network by using router. So that person is called network administrator. A person who uses the operating system to control and manage all the users who are present in same location and same network, then that person is called system administrator. Are you understanding the difference? Are you understanding? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, fine. So now, as we have discussed, our course MCS is based on which network, which LAN. So all our devices will be in our premises. So we have to control and manage them with the help of operating system. So this MCSE course is designed on which operating system I told you? Windows. So our focus will be on Windows operating system. Yesterday I told you one hint. Again, Windows operating system is of how many types? Two types. What are they? Client OS and server OS. So this MCSE course, as an administrator, you have to use client OS or server OS? Server OS. So up to this, any questions, any doubt, anyone? Up to this, have you understood everyone? If it is yes, means we'll go to the next topic. Is it clear up to this, everyone? So can I move to the next topic? Okay, fine. So now how many types of network we have discussed now, just now? 3 types. So if still anybody have any slight doubt, you can see this presentation. So the persons who are from the Hyderabad, you will understand Banjara Hills is a name of the place. So those people who are from not from the Hyderabad, you can just remember here it is mentioned Banjara Hills. Banjara Hills is nothing but it is just a name of the place. So you might be staying at certain place. So that place will have certainly some name, no? So same way, it is also a name of the place in Hyderabad. So let us assume that all our system in the Banjara Hills, the office is there and all the system are in same place. So this type of network comes under which category? Yes, anybody is from Hyderabad? On the online students, anybody is from Hyderabad? Okay, so you might be heard this name, yes? Okay, so those who are not from Hyderabad, just you remember, it is nothing but just a name of the place. Okay, so now this is about the LAN. This is about the LAN. Now, what we have discussed, MAN means when the devices are at different places, but within the same city. So in Hyderabad city, you have different like localities, places. So Banjara Hills, one of the locality, and Secunderabad is another locality. So this both the places comes under different cities or same city. Those who are from Hyderabad, you can tell me. So you might have heard the place name called Secunderabad. Yes, they belong to same city. Yes. So the people who are from not Hyderabad, please remember this is just a two different location or two different places in the same city. So this type of network is called as MAN. So how they used to connect from this office to that office? Nowadays, nobody is using them. So how they used to connect earlier? By using what? Lease line. Have you heard it? So they used to take one cable like you have the internet cable or the television for that if you have taken some cable operator cable. So they used to connect. So they used to connect one cable. Some people used to do the cabling. Some companies used to have hire the employees, but nobody is using now. So they used to connect the cable from this office to that office. Because earlier the internet rates were very, so now the internet rates are become very reasonable. So that's why now nobody is using any lease line. So lease line problem, many are there. If any breakdown happens or due to any traffic or something, if it is get cut, then your network will be down. You cannot communicate from here to there. So now nobody is using what? Lease line. So lease line is nothing but a direct cable from this office to that office. They used to communicate. But now nobody is using them. So now imagine your MNC company you are working. They used to use earlier at that time the lease line, but now not now. Now they are using what? Internet. Whatever may be the distance, they are using what? Internet. Is it clear? At that time they were using internet rates were very high, so they were using what? I didn't understand what you mean by E1. See, if they are using the internet, not a lease line, then it comes under what? MAN. Because when you are using the internet directly, you cannot communicate. You have to compulsory use what? What you have to use when you are using the internet? Because you have to need the router. Yes, very nice. Because your LAN will be on private network. Internet works on public network. So when it is two different network, compulsory you have to use what? Router. So when you are using the router, it comes what? Which network? WAN. So now nobody is using MAN. So that's what I told you. Nowadays, practically we are working on two network, either LAN or WAN. But theoretically speaking, earlier, but it is not now. Whether I'm clear to everyone? Is it clear? Okay, fine. So now imagine your office is in USA and another head office or branch office in India. So can you expect to have a cable? Impossible. So we have to compulsory use what? Routers. So you have to use the router, this office also, that office. Both the places you should have internet. Internet connectivity should come to where? To the router. Then from the router, it will go to the switch. You have to configure the router. So who will configure the router? Network administrator. So inside the office on your floor, who has to manage? System administrator. I hope you are getting clarity. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. So now let us focus on this topic. So we are going to work on our MCSE course is designed on LAN. So if you want to have a growth, you should have the idea about WAN also. So for that, you have to use compulsory router. This you have to remember. So now we have discussed how many types of network now? LAN, WAN, MAN, 3. So if you want to work or if you want to design any network, whether it is LAN, WAN, MAN, to design any network, we need what? So as administrator, we should have the knowledge about how to design the network. So designing we will see tomorrow. So we are just saying here to design any network, what are the things we need? So to design the network, we need 5 things. How many things we require to design the network? How many things we required? 5 things. What are those 5 things? 5 things are essential. Without that, you cannot design the network. First of all, you should have what? Now, suppose, Ahmed, you are working in LAN. So do you need the internet? No. So the first thing you required is systems. You can call that as a devices. Without that, can you have a network? So these are the 5 essential things. So first of all, you should have the system. Then once you have the system, you need what? To connect the system, you need what? Network connecting device. So how do you connect the system? Network connecting device we have to use. Like example, switch. And if the devices are in different network, to the switch you have to connect router also. Yes. Now you have the system. Here you have the system. So these are the systems, multiple systems. Now you have system. Now you also have switch. So now what you have to do? System is there, switch is there. You have to connect them. So you need to provide how many types of connectivity? 2 types of connectivity. What are they? So you have to connect the system to the switch. So when you are connecting the system to the switch, we need to have what? 2 types of connectivity. Yes, very nice. One is physical connectivity. Physical connectivity. Physical connectivity is provided by using the media. Media is 2 types, guided media, unguided. So guided media example is what? Cable. Unguided media example, Wi-Fi. So now I have took the cable, now I have connected the system to the switch. Now will they communicate? Now will they communicate? No. Still the network is incomplete. Now what should be there? Yes, logical connectivity. Router is not required here. Still the devices are in same network. If they are in different network, you can take a router and connect it. So you can take a router and connect it to the switch. But still they cannot communicate. So you have to use what? One more connectivity. What is that? Yes, logical connectivity. So logical connectivity is done by using IP address. Now the systems can work. Now suppose this machine IP is 10.1, this IP 10.2, 10.3 like this. Now will they communicate? No. What is still missing? What is missing? The system can work without operating system. No. So this is now LAN. So can the systems work? So the most important thing is here system. So can the system work without OS? No. On the systems to operate or to work the system, you are connected, but system need to work. So system cannot work without operating system. So now you tell me, out of this 5, without having any one of these, can you design the network? It is not possible. Even one is missing. Out of this 5 things, even one is missing. Can you have a network? So that's why I said these are the 5 essential things to design any network, whether it is LAN, WAN, or MAN. Without this, you cannot have a network. So what are the 5 essential things we require to design or to work on the network? 5 things. What are the systems? Then to connect the system, network connecting device like switch and router. Then to connect the system to the switch, we need to provide physical connectivity as well as logical. So this is enough to work? No. So the system to work means the system should have, on the system, what should be there to use the system? Operating system. So now I hope you know the system. Yes, you know the system. Computer is a collection of hardware and software. So yesterday we completed about the switch and router, and I hope you know cable and Wi-Fi. So already 3 things you are aware. Now only 2 things you have to discuss before we go to the designing of network. So we'll start today's session with which topic now? Now we'll continue our session with which topic? Operating system. After that, IP address. So once we know these 5 things, then we can proceed with the designing of the network. Okay? Is it clear? So now our course MCS is designed are based on which operating system? Windows. So in Windows, how many types of OS we have? 2 types. What are they? Yes. Now, let us assume that you have purchased one new laptop. New laptop you have purchased. So laptop or desktop consists of what? A collection of hardware and software. In this, there is no OS installed. Operating system is not installed. And you are sitting here and trying to use the laptop. This is your laptop. In this, no OS is there. Now, can you use this laptop without OS? No.
No.
So everybody knows that without OS, we can't use. So there has to be some reason for that, yes? So what might be the reason? Why we can't use the system without OS? Yes, no, we
Because-
cannot use. So yes, without operating system cannot work. That is what I want to know. What might be the reason? Why we can't use the system without OS? There has to be some reason, yes? Why we need the OS? Without OS, why it can't? Okay, I got one answer from Rashid. Very nice. So interface is not there. So if you tell to a small kid, suppose you are installing some OS. Now he asks what you are doing. You said installing the OS. So if he asks, if you don't install, what happens? So you said it will not work. Why? So will he understand interface? So in simple word, I want to understand without OS why it can't run computer. So for that,
we cannot
yes.
interact with the hardware.
Yes, why? That is what we are understanding. It cannot run because there is no interface. So without that, we cannot interact. But why? Yes, now I'm getting very near to an answer. Rahman got one very nice point. Others, yes, Lavanya is also saying we cannot communicate. So I'll tell you one simple example. I hope you will agree with my example. Suppose example, I know Hindi language, example, and you know Telugu language. Can we communicate? You know only Hindi, I know only Telugu. You going on speaking Telugu, I'm going on speaking Hindi. Can we understand each other? No. Then how we can understand each other? Yes, some common language. I don't know other than Hindi. You don't know other than Telugu. So what you can do in that scenario? If you are facing this issue, you have to communicate with one person who don't know your language and you don't know his language. So what you'll do in that same case? Yes, we have to use what? A third person, mediator, who understand your language and my language. What you'll call that person? Mediator, a translator. Yes. So now coming to here, why we need the OS. So please remember, computer hardware understand which language? Computer understand which language? Binary.
Machine language.
Yes, binary language or machine language, which is in the zeros and ones. And as a normal person, if you are a genius also, you understand which language? Higher level language. As a person, as a user, you understand which language? High level language. So computer don't understand your language and you don't understand computer language. So can you able to use it, computer? No. So between the user and the computer, who is the mediator? OS. So what is the role of the OS? It will translate. It works like a translate. So as a person, I will give the input in high level language. So whether the computer will understand high level language? No. So I'll write it on the OS. So what the OS will do? It will convert that into low level language and give to the computer CPU. CPU means your main part of the computer, which understand only binary. So who will convert this? When we write anything on the OS, we are writing as a user high level language or low level? High level language. So computer don't understand that. So we'll write where? On OS. The OS will do what? It will convert that high level into binary. So can you see that? No. Once you are given in the background, it will convert that into low level and goes where? To the CPU. You know that CPU consists of all arithmetic, logical unit, power, memory unit. Yes. The combination of those control unit. That is called in single word CPU. Central processing unit. It will understand only binary language. So it will do the task and give the output. In which format? Binary. So it will give to whom again? OS. OS will change it to what? High level language. When the output comes. So when the output is ready, the OS will convert that into high level and displays on the monitor or the screen. Are you understanding what is the function of the OS? Any OS will do this work. It is working like an interface, translator between the machine and the user. Because machine understand binary language. We understand, the person who is using understand high level language. So we need the interface, mediator between the machine and the user. Who is that mediator? Understood the importance of OS? That's why without OS, can we use the system? Because system understand only one language. What is that? Binary. And do you understand binary language? So I hope you understood now why we can't use the system without OS. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? So most of the people in the world are using which OS? Most of the computers or people in the world are using which OS? Windows. So our course MCS is designed on Windows. So we are going to install which OS? Which OS we are going to work on? Windows. So our course MCS is designed on Windows. So we are going to install Windows. So I hope you understood the definition, yes? So now the same thing you can find here, the definition of operating system. So how do you define an operating system? Operating system is a physical thing or a logical thing? Operating system is a physical thing or logical thing? Yes, tell me. Yes, it is a logical thing. So can you see the OS? Can you see the OS? No. But without OS, can you use the system? No. So now we'll start with definition of operating system. So operating system, any operating system is a logical thing, which is a collection of program that acts like a interface between the system and the user and the machine, or man or the machine. So operating system is a collection of program which acts like an interface between the machine and the man. Using that, we can operate the system. So our course is based on Windows. So in Windows, how many types of OS we have? Two types. What are they? Client OS and servers. So example for client OS is, yes, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. Now, what is the latest OS as for the client? In the client, which is the latest OS? Yes, it is Windows 11. Very nice. No, Windows 11. Ahmed, after 10, they released 11. Now, as for the server operating system, the latest one is what? As for the client OS, Windows 11 is the latest. And as for the server OS, yes, 2022. 2022. So will there will be any difference between client OS and server OS, or there is no difference between client and server OS? Difference is there or no difference? Difference will be there. Yes, difference will be there. So generally, what is the main difference between client OS and server OS? Acha, I can put it in simple way like this. Which OS will have more feature? You tell me. At least you tell me now. Server OS will have more feature or client OS? Yes, it is a fact. Server OS will have more features compared to the client OS. So please remember, server OS will have more features compared to the client OS. More functions, more features. So client OS has been designed specifically to use the services. So generally, client OS has been designed to use the services. So who will be using the client OS? Clients. The clients. Client OS has been designed for whom? The normal user, client. User can be called as what? Client. So generally client OS will be used by client for accessing the services. So client OS is generally used by, client OS will be generally used by users. So client OS is being used by users to access the services. To access the services. Whereas server OS is being generally used by administrators. Will be used by administrator to provide the, why we use the server OS? To provide what? It is used to access the services. It is used to provide the services. So generally, you want to work like a employee or a administrator in the company. So administrator. So administrator has to work on which OS? Servers. To configure what? Servers. Servers can be configured on server OS. To server means which provides services. So as an administrator, we should know how to configure servers through which we can provide the services. So which will be possible on server OS. Client will be using client OS to access the services. So normal users will be using the client OS to access the services. Are you understanding the difference between server OS and client OS? Is it clear? Yes, whether I'm clear to everyone? The main difference between client OS and server OS? Okay, fine. So our focus now should be on client OS or server OS? Yes, our focus will be on server OS because we want to work like an administrator. So our focus will be on server OS. So this Windows operating system is designed by whom? Any idea? As a person who designed this Windows OS? Tell me the name of the person who designed Windows OS. After, yes. What is the name of the person? Yes, it is Bill Gates. Have you heard his name? Bill Gates? No? Very famous person. So he designed this OS. Under which company? Yes. Yes. So like our friend is writing the name, Bill Gates, founder of the which company? Microsoft. So which company designed the Windows OS? Company name means you should say Microsoft, but person name if they ask, Bill Gates. He is there or no more? Yes, because he designed this OS at very young age. And he is there, yes. So now we are going to focus on server OS history. So the first the Microsoft company under Bill Gates releases client OS or server OS? Yes, they released client OS. I think roughly in 1984. So Windows OS was roughly available in 1984. Client OS. Yes, our friend is writing DOS. I think Venugopal, yes. So you have to remember, if anybody asks you what is DOS, have you heard about DOS? Disk operating system. So please remember, before the Windows, people were using what? DOS. So using the DOS will get designed Windows operating system. So you have to remember, Windows operating system is designed by using Windows operating system is designed by using DOS. So Windows operating system is designed by using DOS by Bill Gates. Under which company? Microsoft. So the first server OS released in which year? In 1993. With what name? Yes, so the first server OS was released by Microsoft company in 1993. With what name? Windows NT 3.1 version. 3.1 is the version. Name is NT. Here NT stands for new technology. NT stands for new technology. Not network, new technology. And once again, I'm reminding, if anybody give the wrong answer, don't feel anything. That is good thing, means you are, at least you are interactive and you are correcting yourself. So once you give some answer, if it is wrong, you will remember for more duration of time, correct answer. So that's why don't be afraid. No one is perfect. Okay. So please be interactive, everybody. So whatever you feel, you just write. So first server OS was released in which year? 1993. With what name? Then next server OS they released in which year? 1994. With what version name? NT. Name continued, but version changed. 3.5. Then next server OS they released in 1996. With what name? Windows NT 4.0 version. Then next server OS they released in which year? 2000. With what name? Windows NT 5.0 version. Now we are calling, now which is the latest server OS on which we are going to discuss this MCSE course? 2022. So why it is called 2022? No, why it is given the name 2022? Yes, what they are doing now in client OS, they are keeping the series continue number 7, 8, but they did not release 9. Don't say 9, then 10. Now continue with what? 11. But after 2000, up to 2000, what they have done? They were using the server OS with what name? NT, new technology. But after 2000, they decided that, they means Microsoft company decided that in which year they are releasing the server OS, that name they are giving to their server OS. So after 2000, next server OS they released in 2003, which is called 2003 server operating system, which is based on .NET. .NET is one of the language you might have heard. Then next server OS they released in which year? 2008. So please remember from 2003 onwards, in which year they are releasing the server OS, that name they are giving. So up to 2000 they were used what name? NT. From 2003 they decided to keep their server OS name. In which year they are releasing that name. So after 2000, next server OS they released in which year? 2003, which is called 2003 server operating system. After 2000, next server OS they released in which year? 2008. So which they called as, what it is called? 2008 server operating system. Next server OS they released in which year after 2008? 12. After 8 they released in which year? 12, which is called 2012 server operating system. After 12, next server OS they released in which year? 16, which is called 2016 server OS. After 16, next server OS they released in which year? 19, which is called 2000. No, not 18. Remember, 18 is not there. Next they released in 2019, which is called 2019 server operating system. Then the latest one they released in which year? Latest server OS they released in 2022, which is called Windows 2022 server operating system. I hope it is clear now. So from 2003 onwards, in which year they are releasing the server OS, that name they are giving to their server OS. In the client OS, they are using the sequence order, 7, 8, but 9, then they did not kept 9, then 10, then 11. Yes, if they are using the old OS, they are giving some service pack that is called patching will be done. And they provide the support. Now the support for 2003 and 8 is not there. Minimum we have to use what? 12. Support, the Microsoft. They are not providing the support. They have stopped the support for client OS also. 7 they are not doing. So now please remember this, like your mobile. So suppose you are using some mobile, some brand. Now in the market, some latest version came. So now you purchase that. Same company, same brand, but latest version you purchase. So once you purchase the latest one, mobile, everything will be new in that new mobile. Features will be, every feature will be new, or all the features will be new when you purchase a new mobile. I think you are using the mobile, no? All the features will be new. I think you have not understood me. All the features will be new. No. So you purchase some brand. Now the latest version came. When you purchase it, will all the features will be, everything new will be there? No. Exactly same features will be there. So whenever a new feature comes, whenever a new version comes, a new series, they will add only few services here and there. But all the previous features will be there. So whenever a new operating system is released, it doesn't mean that everything new will be there. Are you following? So if you work on 2012, you can easily work on 16, 19 or 22. Same way, if you work on 22, you can easily work on 16, 19 and 12. Because most of the features are same. Here and there, slight changes will be there. So that changes will be mostly related with now, with some extra securities. But overall, it will be similar. Only extra securities they have added. Okay. So if you work on
If it is
22, yes.
if it is 2008,
2008, now they are not providing you the support, but some variations will be there. So that's why now people are not using 2008. Minimum they are using 12. So in the organization also you will find the companies might be using lower end is 2012.
okay, thank you.
Because they will be not getting any updates from the Windows.
Okay.
See, it is not fixed. The company has not fixed. After so many years only they will release. So you can see here, there is no regularity. Sometime it will be 2 years, sometime it might be 3 years, sometime they took also 4 years. But unless until they don't release any new version, the version for the old version, they will keeps on giving. And before stopping it, they will say us in advance 1 to 2 years. They will never stop the updates or services immediately. They will inform us well before us. And after informing also, most of the cases, they will extend. They will extend. So I hope I answer your question. Immediately, they will never stop it. They'll give some deadline. In some cases, they will also extend the deadline also. But suddenly, they will never stop. And there is no regularity. See, you can do the upgrade free, but the support, or if you are getting any uh, technical support, for that they will charge you license key. Without license key, you cannot use the Windows. It is for temporary trial basis, it is freely available. But if you want to use on your servers with stability, you have to pay them the license key. So they will send you the updates and support. For your home purpose, you can use the free or trial versions. Okay. See, generally they will keep the trial version 15 days or 1 month. But it doesn't mean that it will get deleted. They will not provide you the support. You can use that. So the OS which we are going to use, 22, it is also a trial version we are using free of cost. So what happens after 15 days or 1 month, when you are using it, after 1 hour, it will shut down. So if you are using for our training purpose, it will not cause any problem. But you cannot use that same thing in servers on the live, in the companies, live servers. Okay, you have to purchase them. Is it clear? Okay. Yes, some services they won't allow. You have to pay the license key. So that license key amount depends on how many features you want or what type of services you want. Based on that, the license key charges will be there. More features, more services, more license key. Okay. Now, so if you want to work like an administrator, you have to use server OS or client OS? Server. To configure what? Server OS. So I'll provide you the link from where you can download the 2022. Just wait for a few minutes, I'll provide you the link. So as administrator, see, once you pay them, if you go to their official website, registered with them, you have to pay the amount. So you can contact them. They will give the mail IDs and some numbers. You have to contact them. So they'll provide you the updates and support. For that, you have to first take their subscriptions. Okay. Okay, so you want to work like a administrator. So administrator will be using client OS or server OS? Server OS. So this server OS will be used to configure what? Servers, which provide the services. So to configure the servers, can we use this normal desktop machines, laptop, or we have to use some separate machines in the companies? Yes, the company will buy it. Yes, as you are saying, Ali, Muhammad Ali, yes, companies will buy it. You have to manage it, that's it. So they will charge you annually charges, monthly, like that supports will be depending. If you take for like simple logic, if you take for higher duration, the charges will be little bit less. Okay. So now this server OS we want to install 2022 to make the servers. So in the organization, in the companies, this OS will be installed on our normal desktop machines and laptop, or separate machines will be there. Can we configure the servers in the companies, in the industry, on our normal desktop machine or separate machines? Yes, we have to use separate machines. So these machines will not be used like our normal desktop a laptop will not be used as a servers in the companies. So they'll be using separate machines. So one of the commonly asked question when you go to the interview as a experienced candidate, one of the question will be on what type of servers you work or on what type of servers you are working in your present company, they'll ask. Because those servers are, that machines are called different and they are called as what? Those machines which will be used as a server in the real time. They are called, those machines are called what? Yes, any idea, anyone? No one returned till now? Yes, Venugopal, you came very nice. Blade server. So those servers are called hardware servers. What you will call? Hardware servers. So the machines which will be used in the companies to configure as a server or to use as a server, those machines are called hardware servers. So those machines will be called as hardware servers. So we will not use our normal desktop machines as a server in the companies. So example, you are purchasing suppose laptop. You went to some shop and asked the shop owner or shopkeeper, show me one laptop. Immediately what he will ask? What he will ask? Have you ever went to the shop and said this question? Show me the laptop. Immediately what he will ask? Yes, configuration. He will ask, what is the configuration you are looking for? Yes. Because the speed or the performance of the machine depends on configuration. So there are three main configuration on which the performance of the machine depends. What are they? The performance of the machine depends on three factors. What are they? First one is processor. Second one is RAM. And the third one is type of hard disk. So these are the three most important factors on which the performance of the machine depends. They are processor. The higher the processor, the faster it will work. And more will be the charge. Second is RAM. The higher the RAM or more the RAM, more free space. So more faster it will work. And the third one is what? Type of hard disk. So that also a factor. So nowadays people are preferring to buy which type of hard disk, which will work a little bit faster compared to the previous. Yes, SSD hard disk. SSD hard disk will work faster compared to the previous type of hard disk. So the performance of the machine depends on these three factors: processor, RAM, and hard disk. So normally in your desktop or your laptop, how many hard disks you will find? One. How many processor? One. How many RAM? One will be there. Slot might be there. But generally, when you purchase the laptop or desktop, you will have single processor, hard disk single, RAM single. But if you purchase the hardware servers, so the difference between normal machine and the hardware server is in the difference is in the hardware. So the machines which will be used like a servers in the company, they are called hardware servers. So what is the difference between hardware servers and normal machine? The difference is in the hardware. So normally our laptop or desktop contain one processor, one RAM, one hard disk. But in the hardware servers, in a single hardware server, you will have multiple processor, multiple RAM, and multiple hard disk. That is the difference between normal desktop machines and hardware servers. So how many types of hardware servers available in the market? Three types of hardware servers are available in the market. What are they called? Tower server, blade server, and rack server. So this is the commonly asked question. What type of server you are using or working in your company? So these servers, single machine, single hardware server contain multiple processor, multiple hard disk, and multiple RAM. This is the difference between normal desktop and hardware servers. So in the hardware servers, again, there are three types of hardware servers, which are being manufactured by different companies. Like hardware servers of Dell are available, HP is available, IBM is available. Okay. So the companies are manufacturing hardware servers in three categories, because mostly three types of companies are existing: small companies, medium-sized company, and large company, big companies. So for them, based on their necessity, based on the types of industries in the world, the companies are making three types of hardware servers. What are they? Tower server, blade server, and rack server. So the difference again is in the hardware. So tower server will have less number of processor, hard disk, and RAM compared to blade server and rack server. So that's why tower server is specifically designed for, or it is specifically used for which network? Tower server will be used by the small organization, small companies, because it contains less number of processor, RAM, and hard disk compared to blade server and rack server. But it will have more number of processor, hard disk, and RAM compared to our normal machines. So minimum cost factor. So whose price will be higher? Rack server, blade server, tower server. And which cost will be lower? Yes. So here lower means as per the Indian currency. If you go for tower server also, minimum you will not find less than 3 lakhs. Minimum 3 lakhs. Least configuration. And there is no end for higher. Even you may have 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, rack server, even 30 lakhs, something like that. So depending upon how much bigger, how much higher configuration will go, that much cost. Like example, our laptop. Some people will have laptop even above 1 lakh. Yes, depending upon the features. So tower server is specifically designed for which type of company? Small, because it contains less number of processor, RAM, and hard disk compared to blade server and rack server. Now coming to the next type of server, which is called blade server. This is your blade server. Yes, the blade server is designed for the medium-sized company. So every company want to have which type of server? Rack, blade, or tower? Every company. They want which type of server? Rack. But they have to see the budget. Everything depends on, everybody want to have a high-end laptop. Yes, but we have to see our budget. So everything depends on money. So depending upon the company requirement, company infrastructure, and their budget, employees, all these things comes into factor. The main factor is cost factor. So generally small company also may prefer to have rack server, but they cannot afford. So they generally go for tower server. Medium-sized company, blade server. So blade server will have more number of processor. It will have more number of processor, RAM, and hard disk compared to tower server, but less in number compared to rack server. Are you understanding? Yes, everybody, are you following? Okay. See, I have got one interesting question. Can blade server be installed inside the rack? No, these are the names. So why it is given the name? Like it is appears based on the appearance, they have given the names. So now the rack server contain more number of processor, hard disk and RAM compared to the blade server and tower server. So it is been specifically designed for big network or large network or big companies. So one of our friend asking, what is the difference? Can you repeat? Say, I said the hardware server consists of multiple processor, multiple hard disk and multiple RAM in a single machine. So tower server will have less number of processor, RAM and hard disk compared to blade and rack server. That's why it is preferred in small companies. Blade server will have more number of processor, hard disk and RAM compared to tower server, but less in number compared to rack server. That's why it is used in medium-sized company. Rack server will have more number of processor, hard disk and RAM compared to blade and tower server. That's why it is designed. That's why it is used in the large network or big companies. Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear? So the OS is, see, it does not depend, the number of users does not depend on rack server or the blade server. So that depends on the services. Number of users will be based on the, that will be based on the OS. Yes, Syed Ahmed. That we will be discussing in the next point. Okay, so the number of users depend on the upon the OS, not on the hardware servers. Hardware servers depends on type of services you are utilizing or configuring or using as per your company requirement. Okay. How many services you want, and also how many users or how many clients will be accessing this. Yes, the size of the organization. So one of the factor is how many users, how many types of services, and it is a 12-hour organization or 24. Like this, so many factors you have to take into consideration. Okay. Is it clear up to this? Okay. So on these hardware servers, you need to install the client OS or server OS. Server OS only you have to install. Client OS cannot support. In these machines, the processor will be very high end. RAM also not in, like we generally use as what? GB. It will be not in GB, it will be in TB. Yes. So huge. And it will generate lot of heat. So these servers will not be kept in normal rooms. They will have a separate room, completely AC, where the temperature will be very low because it generates a lot of heat. So if you don't provide the ACs, the chances of it is getting breakdown very often, very quickly, because it generates a lot of heat. The higher end, the more like number of processor, hard disk, RAM, more heat it will generate. So on this hardware servers, we have to install client OS or server OS, compulsory server OS. So we are going to focus on server OS. So now 2008 may be not used. So in 2008, they introduced how many editions? 3. Whenever the Microsoft company is releasing their server OS, they are releasing in multiple edition. So 2008 server OS was released in how many editions? 3 edition: standard edition, enterprise edition, and data center edition. Standard edition was designed for small companies where they can use maximum 75 accounts, user account, 75 user account, standard edition. And enterprise edition for medium sized company, like up to maximum 500 employees. Then above 500 employees, data center, unlimited user account, no limit. So license key will be different. Standard edition license key will be less compared to enterprise and data center. So like this, they are charging based on the features and what type of services they are providing. Based on that, the charges will be there. But officially, they have stopped the support for the 2008. So minimum support now they are providing to 12. Now we will focus on 2012. So in 2012, they released their server OS in how many editions? 4 editions. So they released their server OS in how many editions? 4. What are they are called? Foundation edition, essential edition, standard edition, and data center edition. Here the name is standard, enterprise edition, data center. But now here essential it is, foundation, essential, standard, and data center. Okay, so what is the difference between these 4 editions? We will discuss. So first, foundation edition. So foundation edition, they are released not for the general public. It is not for the public. It is been released for, or it is been made available only for OEM. OEM stands for. So now we'll see the difference here. So in 2012, they released their server OS in how many editions? 4 editions. So here, OEM stands for what? Original equipment manufacturer. So this foundation edition was released or given free of cost. So this edition is given free of cost to the companies who are promoting the Microsoft product. So the persons are the company who are promoting the Microsoft product as a goodwill gesture, or you can say business tactics. They have given this OS free of cost to the public. Sorry, not to the public, to the OEM. OEM means original equipment manufacturer. So those people who are promoting the Microsoft product. So to them, they have given this OS free of cost. But in that, they did not kept all the features. Full features they have not given. Here, how many user you can create? 15. So can you use this OS in the companies? No. And in that also, there is no virtualization support. So you cannot install the Hyper-V to create multiple virtual machine. No virtualization support. So if you are a general public, or if you are looking to use the OS in 2012 edition, you have to minimum go for which one? Essential edition. So this essential edition will have very less license key, low cost, very low cost they have kept. But in this, how many user account you can create? 25. And also no virtualization support. But it is not free. But they kept it very low cost. So they designed this OS keeping in mind for whom? So this is generally designed for whom? Like it can be used in schools, colleges, like shopping mall, like business people, small hospitals. So for them, keeping in them in mind, they have designed this. But the industry cannot use this. For industry, they design what? Standard edition and data center edition. So here, the full features they have given. So in a standard edition, how many user account you can create? Unlimited. How many users you can create? Unlimited user account. And virtualization support is there. But here, how many virtual machine you can create? How many virtual machine you can create? 2. Here also in data center edition, unlimited user account. And an unlimited virtual machine. Windows Pro, it is under the client. Professional, you are saying, no, that is not under the server. It is for the client OS. Which will have more feature compared to the home edition. Windows 10 Pro means professional. That is better compared to the Windows 10 Home. So in your laptop, you should have Pro compared to the home. So what is the difference between standard edition and data center edition? Only one difference. Same features, but one difference. In standard edition, virtual machine can be 2 virtual machine. And whereas in data center edition, you can create unlimited virtual machine. See, virtualization means on a single physical machine, we can create multiple virtual machine. So like we'll be discussing Hyper-V. So we can install the Hyper-V and create using the standard edition, how many virtual machine? 2 virtual machine. Whereas in the data center, using the Hyper-V, we can create unlimited virtual machine. That is the difference. So the license key for the standard edition and data center will be same or different? Different. So they will charge you very heavily for data center edition. Understood? So basic idea will be more feature means more cost. So generally the users can use that machine, or you can configure the servers also on virtual machine. No. So here here one question is the number of server OS, the number of users a server user support. So you will be not creating the user account in client OS, Lavanya. You will be creating the user account in the company from server OS. So you will not create the account in the client OS. So there is no question of number of client, the server OS support are one or same in the client OS. No. So it is, you have to create the user account from the server OS. So how many server OS you are using that directly or indirectly never linked to the client OS. But you can create the users from the client also. There will be no limit. But if you create a user from the client, that user can log in from that machine only, not from other machine. So that we are going to discuss in the coming days session. Okay. See, they will add some whenever a new version comes. Most of the things remain same. Just they will add here and there some slight new features. See, I'll provide you the slide link. I'll provide you the link from so that you can access these slides, but you cannot download. Okay. Because I have seen one of our question was, can we get the same document, some document where we will get all the difference between each edition? So like that systematically it won't be there. So with our usage purpose, reading and working on the fields, we'll get this. We will combine everything and make it ready-made. Okay, what clarification you required, you please ask Muhammad Ali, or you can write it in the chat. See, if I just tell you the slide, you may not able to understand easily. So wherever extra points are needed and simplicity is required, I am writing. In the slide, the language will not be like exactly simple. So that's what I'm trying to make it. If you want me to just go through the slide, I can go. Yes. Everything is getting recorded, you can see. See, if you have purchased the server OS, you need to create the users in virtualization means. For the virtualization, you have to install some application like if you have purchased the server OS, in that Hyper-V will be there. From the Hyper-V, you can create a virtual machine. Then which OS you are installing this virtual machine, it depends. Based on that, you can create the user. So we'll be discussing that in the end of the course, how to install the virtualization. Creating the user will be same as you are doing from the server OS. Is it okay, Mohammad Ali? So you have to first create. So for that, first you have to know how to create the virtual machine using Hyper-V. Then on that, you have to make your machine as a domain controller, which we are going to do within 2 to 3 days. Then from that, you have to create the user. So once you get that knowledge, then you can do it. Yes, the user should be created from the server, which you can also install in virtual machine and create the users, which will be login from any machine, but that machine need to be joined. So for that, you have to wait for 3 to 4 days, you will get the clarity. Okay, can I proceed? So this is about in which year they released these 4 editions? In 12. Now after 12, they release which one? 16, 19, and 22. So now you have to remember from now in 2016, in 2019, as well as in 2022, they released how many editions? 3 editions. So they released only one time this foundation edition. After that, they are continuing with what? 3 editions. What are they? Essential, name same, essential, standard, data set. And difference is similar. Standard edition and data center will have similar feature. Only difference is virtualized. And with that, with every version, they are adding some extra securities, especially related with the cloud, like app lock or something like they have giving for the Azure. So Microsoft company have their cloud with what name? Azure. So Azure cloud they have supported. Okay. Is it clear? Now to install this is the minimum requirement. Your processor speed should be 1.4 to install this 2012 onwards. For 16 also, 19 also, 22 also, same hardware requirement. Virtualization support should be there. And minimum RAM 512, but it will be very slow. So you should have for one virtual machine, 1 GB RAM. So when you are purchasing, first you check processor speed. The higher the speed, gigahertz, higher the speed, the faster it will work. Nowadays it comes between 2 to 2.5. So how you can check, see here. But OS should be there. Without OS, we can't check. So suppose my is configurations here. Go to the PC, right click, properties. So my processor is what? i5. Yes, 4th generation. My processor speed is between 2.2 to 2.6. How much RAM I am having? 8. And SSD hard disk. Okay. So minimum RAM required is to run the server OS minimum. To run one virtual machine, 512 is not required, 1 to 2 GB. Maximum it will support 4 GB. Minimum this much is required, but recommended is what? 30 to 40 GB. And nowadays we are not installing with the DVD, we are installing through ISO image. Okay. Now, how you will be installing this? How you will be doing the practical? This is a commonly asked question. Yes. So now what we will do, all the theory sessions will be there with practical. So now what I'm going to do is, I'll request you, you make one WhatsApp group. Somebody take the initiative. So you just ping to me on my WhatsApp number. I'll send you one file in that. So this is the notepad file I have made. So here, first thing you have to do is what? You have to download the VMware. You have to download the VMware. So for the time being, I'm providing you on the chat box. So tomorrow, like online students, you will be, most of them you have made the payment, but I'll get the final list. So tomorrow I'll share you my WhatsApp number and this file to you on your WhatsApp. So I'll request you, somebody take an initiative and create the WhatsApp group, online people. And only one small request, if anybody is not willing to join the group, please don't make them join, leave them to there. So if anybody is not in the group, I'll give my WhatsApp number. You can personally ping to me for that file. I'll send you. There is no force to join in the group because some people have made like that. So we made this condition. No, if anybody is not willing to join in the group, let them leave. Those who are willingly join, please add them into the group. And it is better somebody create the group and keep the group admin to 1 or 2 people or multiple people. So today I'm just sharing you. See, if you use the Oracle, Oracle is designed for software. So if you want to work on 2022 full-fledged, you may not get the full features, especially for the last practicals. So better I'll suggest you, if you have the Oracle or the Hyper-V, better you use VMware. VMware have more features and simple to use. So that's what I prefer to advise you. Better you use VMware. It is simple and easy. So I'm providing you the heading of VMware on the chat box. Please copy it. So tomorrow anyhow, I'll be sharing you on your WhatsApp group. So please somebody make an initiative and create it. So almost the time is over. So tomorrow I'll show you the installation, but I'll give the link so that by tomorrow you can just download this. So what I'll suggest you, you go to this link, which I'm putting in on the chat box. You please copy this. So this is the first link I've given for the VMware. So see here. So commonly things which mostly the online students will say, sir, the link which you are giving is not working. So I understood that. That's why every time I'll show the link whenever I'm giving. So some people, what they'll do, they'll copy the heading also. So not all, some. So please don't copy the heading, just copy the link like I'm showing. Just copy the link for the VMware. So don't install the 2022 directly on your physical machine. Like my physical machine is Windows 10. So I'm not going to do anything to the Windows 10 machine. So I'll keep my machine as it is. Without disturbing these, I have to do this course. How I can do? So first, you open the browser. For all the practicals, you don't need any internet, only for downloading this thing. So just what you have to do, you just go to the browser and paste the link which I have copied, which I have given to you, same link. So it will show you this window. So don't buy here. If you go down, you will have Windows 17th version Pro. Just click on download. It will not ask any detail. It will simply start downloading. Okay. So after downloading, where it will get download? It will get to your physical machine download. So go to the download. Go to the downloads. Double click. Next install. It will ask the key. key also have given. You just copy and paste it. Don't write manually. Then restart the machine. Then what happens? You can see one icon. So don't install the server OS on your physical machine. First, you have to download the VMware, then install it. Okay, is that clear? Then we are going to work on 2022. So I'm giving you the link of the 2022 also. Without asking any detail, you can download. So I'm putting that also in your chat box. So please, all of you copy this. So this is the link for the 2022 server OS. Now I'm showing you that link also is working or not. See here. So when we start the tomorrow session, you please download the VMware and install it. And also you download the 2022. After that, what you have to do tomorrow, I'll show you how to create a virtual machine and install the 2022 on that. So you just go to this link, the first version, English. This is 2022. Just click here. It will not ask any detail like your mail ID, nothing. It is 4.5 GB. It will start downloading. So these two things you have to do. So first you have to download the VMware and install it, and then download the ISO image. And please don't extract or compress the ISO image, just to keep download. That's it. Then tomorrow, using the VMware, how to create a virtual machine and install the 2022 server OS, I'll show you along with the IP addressing. Okay, that will be our tomorrow session. Okay, so yes, any doubt, any questions, anyone? Just 2 minutes. Yes, any questions, any doubt? Okay, you have created the WhatsApp group. So those who are willing, you please join it. And just to you ping to me tomorrow on your WhatsApp group. I'll send you on that file. So I'll send you that file. Okay. So is there any questions, any doubt, or can I close the session?
Sir, if this class is combined for both online as well as offline thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have any other question other than that? So can I close the session now? Yes. Okay. So can I close the session? Okay. I'm closing the session. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Good night.